I made the decision to come here to East Texas back when 2008, 2009 is when I made the transition from LA over to Texas. Definitely more opportunities out here. One thing I like to kind of touch is, how difficult it is to do development work in California. So yeah, 2008 is when I came to East Texas, and East Texas is home now. I've married, 2 kids, raised a family out here in East Texas, so it's just, people are wonderful. We're engineers, we don't claim to be home builders. And so everything that we've done is value engineering. Basically going down the path of trying to analyze every aspect of any kind of construction. Primarily we started out in commercial construction, did a lot of gas stations, retail centers, and slowly figured out that the crossover into residential there wasn't really a whole lot. Residential construction is built traditionally very different from commercial construction. But in commercial construction, we're always into the challenge of trying to make sure it's more cost-effective, value engineering. That's primarily the main focus in engineering is what can we do to kind of help save money and cost and maintenance on it. So that's kind of what got us started. We have done conventional construction in the past. And there are some great builders over here. It really wasn't anything to do with the way of conventional construction as much as it was truly trying to bring something that is totally different to the residential concept of housing. Cost expectation wise is going to be very comparable to what conventional construction is. You've got to understand, on a conventional construction, on a steep pitched roof, there's a lot of lumber wasted up there. And if you look at any conventional construction these days, almost 60% of the house that you see on a front elevation is a roof. You only see about 9 foot of the plate height, and maybe 10 feet, 12 feet in some houses, but you still see about 60% of the roof line on these houses these days, because a steep roof apparently has a better curb appeal on a lot of these houses. So you look at most of the newer houses, they all try to go with a steep roof on it. There's a lot of material wasted in a steep pitch roof situation. And also, if you're taking a house that's built conventionally, which is with a 2x4 wall, you got brick cladding on the outside. So you're talking about a 2x4 wall system or a 2x6 wall system with plywood on the outside, moisture barrier on the outside, and then you come back and put brick on it. With the concrete blocks, we just go straight with the block, and we frame the inside with some metal framing that's anchored to the concrete block. And we have a vapor barrier down the inside of it in terms of an insulation padding, and that's pretty much it on our wall system. As far as the finish on the outside, this is what is real stucco. What we know of stucco is a adaptation of cement on wood. Stucco in general is straight up stucco on concrete blocks, and so this is stucco that's going to last forever. You don't have to worry about people weed eating up against the house, and you don't have to worry about rock chips. And I'm telling you, we can go out there and square kick up on the wall, and you're not going to move the wall. We've gone through and redefined or kind of redesigned every aspect of the house. The way we do the roof, the way we do our storages, way we do insulation in here. It might be very foreign to anyone that's doing residential construction, just because, like I said, one thing that I've noticed here is there has been absolutely no crossover. People that do commercial construction are strictly within commercial construction. And people that do residential construction, they don't venture into commercial. We can sit here and talk about the curb appeal. What's really got us going and seems to be resonating with a lot of people in East Texas is the modern straight line look on these homes. Although when we started out initially, it really wasn't, of course, we weren't going to leave a shoddy product. We were going to make sure it's very sleek and very curb appeal. It's got a good curb appeal. But that wasn't really our primary focus or objective. We wanted to do something that was, I've been in East Texas since I moved here from Los Angeles. In the first month I lived in East Texas, I've seen more rain than I had seen in all of my life in Los Angeles. And my wife, when she came here, we weren't used to hurricane sirens going off or the tornado sirens going off, and it just kind of runs an anxiety through the entire family. And so, well, we said, okay, what can we do different about it? And that kind of what got us started on the concrete block construction. We did it more for structural integrity, but the more we build, the more we see, and the more we do this now, to me, it just kind of feels like there is really no awareness. That's really what's going on. There's not much awareness in the way you could be building different. People don't see the advantage of, you can walk around the house and we don't have very little eaves and soffits that could rot and be a problem down the road. It's all, for the most part, flat roof, metal cap, painted walls, which you can come back and repaint at any time. And cinder block is one of those things, since it's kind of put together like a Lego puzzle. Any house is going to settle over time, and you cannot find a better product than cinder block because it's going to adjust itself. With cinder block, the way they just kind of adjust itself, you'd have to come back and patch it, paint it, and you're done. You don't have to worry about resurfacing it. You don't have to worry about a whole lot of things that would go on in a conventional home. We see that it's got the fire resistance aspect to it, mold and mildew aspect to it. It's got the structural strength you need. Like I mentioned, there's really no rotting soffits. And more than anything else, really the tangible value that people are going to see is your electric bill. A typical home with a black roof on it is going to be absorbing heat. You walk into a house on a summer midday when your attic is 200 degrees and you're trying to cool down the living space down to 70 degrees, there's a big differential temperature you're trying to make a difference with. And now people are deviating from the spray foam insulation as well, because undoubtedly it's causing moisture issues. But with the concrete block home and the white TPO roof we put on it, it's completely reflective roofing. And so right there we've eliminated a big chunk of the energy saving that that brings to the people. Is right there with the white reflective roof, you don't have heat absorption inside the house. You don't have to worry about coming back and replacing the roof. You don't have to worry about paying a 2% deductible, which is what it is these days. And yet again, high winds, shingles, we're expecting it not to flap. I don't know why we're expecting it not to flap. It just doesn't make sense. And so that's kind of what we do and how we do it. So you're looking at a product when everybody's going to make a run to McCoy's to get 2x6s and 2x4s. I'm not worried about it. Those guys have inelastic demand, because it really is. You can jack the price of salt 10 cents, and that's all that matters. Or you can jack the price of salt $2. People are still going to go get salt because it's inelastic. That's the same thing with construction materials over here. People have figured out a way that you can make money on it. So yeah, they keep jacking up the prices and people are going after it. Concrete block, I'm telling you, it hadn't changed. It went from $1.72 to $2.12. We just got a load delivered. With concrete blocks, there's only one way to finish it. It's the strongest way to finish it. It's not going to go anywhere. And concrete block construction is very prevalent in a lot of Central American countries.